got a big show today. We got some big time games, but we got a big time guest. All right, we ain't coming with any little dogs. We only got big dogs. I'm talking the reigning, defending Pac-12 Player of the Year, one of the best players in the nation, star player for Utah, Alissa Pili. Alissa, thank you so much for joining us today on the committee post-game show. I mean, first off, let's just get into how this season has started for you guys. Just in general, 6-1. What have you kind of learned about this team so far in this season?
I've learned a lot. I think we've gotten a lot of new pieces to our squad. We got our returning players. That's our main core. But adding those new players, it was definitely it definitely took some time for us to get used to each other and build that chemistry. But I feel like where we're at right now, we're still learning, we're still improving, and so I think everybody's still just hungry to get better and continue to do well.
So we just saw you go to Alaska, which is where you're from. Obviously, a huge homecoming game for you. Just in general, how was that experience being able to have everyone there in the crowd for you, being able to go back home and play a game for Utah? Kind of just in general, how was that experience for you?
Man, I keep telling people this, but it was like a full circle moment for me. Just going on the court, playing on the court in college, my senior year, where I won state championships and where I played in front of my family and all my friends. And so just going back, just seeing the support that everybody had for me, all my family was there. They took up like half the stadium, but just seeing that support that just my family and the whole state of Alaska has, I think it was just an eye opener for me, and it kind of made me realize like the position I'm in and the impact I have. And so I think, just overall the trip was great. I love seeing everybody, and it was a lot of fun.
So
I like how you flex them state championships.
Oh yeah, some slight. There's a couple rings on them fingers. Hold on.
I played a bunch of different sports. I played obviously basketball, then I played volleyball, did track and field, and then I wrestled for a year. And I got a total of 13 state championships.
Run it up.
We were gonna ask. We were gonna ask about those other sports later. But since you mentioned it, how you wrestled all these different sports? How has this all kind of come together to make you the basketball player that you are today?
It's helped me a lot just being a multi-sport athlete. And my dad, he was the one who put us in a bunch of different sports, me and my siblings. And so his kind of strategy behind that was okay, find what you're good at, find what you love to do. And then you're still in high school and you're still young, so have fun with these other sports. Might as well do that. And doing those other sports also helped me with some just skills, I guess, that come into basketball. I also played football too with my.
You're collecting the Infinity Stones.
I heard you were that girl at football.
What position did you play in football?
I was D-line and O-line.
In the trenches.
Yeah, so my dad was my coach. That was the first sport I played, was football. And it was honestly the first sport I loved. I loved it before basketball. But yeah, I think just being in football helped me definitely with my strength and footwork. And then volleyball helped me with my reaction, my jumping, timing. And then wrestling was also just, I hated wrestling, man.
What made you hate wrestling?
It's just such a hard sport, man. You're literally just tossing around your own weight. I know it seems like a small amount of time, but let me tell you, that is the hardest 3 minutes of your life, I swear.
I believe it.
So how did you come across, how did you decide upon basketball? Because you just said your dad said find what you're good at, but 13 state titles.
Sounds like you're kind of good at everything.
Yeah, how do you decide now?
Well, I started to take basketball more seriously when I got into middle school. And then I started like doing travel teams, AAU and all that. And, I had a lot of fun with that. And once I started to see that, I could play at the collegiate level for basketball and, get my school paid for it and not let my parents worry about all that. I think it was something that I really like dedicated my time to. And, I just did the other ones for fun.
Was there kind of a moment when you realized like, oh damn, basketball's the one? Where you realized you were kind of a step above everybody else and being able to go and pay for your college through this sport?
Yeah, I think once I got into high school, and the program I went into was normally a good program. So it was hard to get on varsity as a freshman. But I made varsity and then like I started. I think my freshman year is kind of when I started to take off. And I don't know. Alaska it's the competition my years in high school were pretty good, but like, a lot of people say it's not much competition up there. So, like just in the tournaments we would go and travel when I would play like other teams from other states. Like, I think that's when I kind of noticed like I was pretty good at basketball.
We want you to put on for Alaska real quick. Cause like who influenced you like growing up as a young girl hooping in Alaska? And yeah, like who were your influences?
All I know is Carlos Boozer. So
wait, Jessica Moore, don't do it.
Oh yeah, and Trajan Langdon. So like,
and Mario Chalmers too.
See, I didn't know that one.
Yeah, no,
there you go.
I didn't really growing up. Me and my siblings, like my whole family, we didn't really watch like pro sports like that. So I never really had like that role model to mold my game after or to follow in their footsteps. I kind of just like took it upon myself and like grew the love for the game like by myself, I guess. Like we would be, honestly, if I had to choose a person that was my impact would be my dad. He used to whoop us. He used to whoop us. And this man is a 5'7". He's 5'7", man. Like that guy's short, but he used to whoop me and my brother. My brother's 6'4", all the time. And so like just playing around with him, and then we would go to the gyms late night and just even when I was young, like in middle school, maybe I was over there playing with the grown men and my cousins, my brother, and all them. So I think that was kind of like my little push or like my impact towards trying to continue my career in basketball.
What's Pop's go-to move?
He dream shaking?
He got a mean hook shot.
Hey, a hook shot at like 5'7" is crazy.
That would piss me off.
I'm telling you, that's the only thing he could do because he knows we're taller. So he just up there.
Oh my God.
He got it down, dude.
So like going back to Alaska, what is the culture kind of like now? Have you seen a difference?
I would say it's a lot more. I think it's a lot more like involvement and like people trying to get exposure now, like mostly through media, I would say, because social media is a huge thing now. And growing up, like exposure there was bad. Like, no coaches wanted to come fly up all the way to Alaska. And they're just, I don't know, it's like I felt like we were so isolated from the rest of the United States, and that exposure part was hard. But I mean, the culture there, honestly, it's like that will always be home, and like the culture is always going to be the same. I think just how close knit of a community it is. Like you go to the grocery store, you see like two people, like it's all very close, and like everybody, and so that's what makes it cool though, because like I grew up in a big family, and a bunch of my family's back home, but I think just having that like everybody knows everybody type community, it was fun to grow up in.
So speaking of kind of like the family aspect and the culture, I have a clip to play real quick, and then we'll ask you about it earlier. But this was before one of your games in Alaska in the starting lineup announcements. Okay, so I want to dive into this because I thought that was so cool. I did my research. I apologize in advance if I mispronounce it. But that is an Atikluk?
Yeah, I can't even pronounce it either.
Okay. That makes me feel better because I was really doing my research. I wanted to get it right so bad. But can you that was made by your grandmother, handmade. Can you kind of dive into what that significance was, having that moment there, and the significance of that piece of clothing just in general for the culture?
Yeah, I mean, I like my roots, my cultural roots they go deep, and it's something like I take pride in just because it's so different from a lot of people that I meet, and a lot of people that I know. So, I mean, yeah, that's just a traditional jacket that, so I'm a Nupiat. It's a kind of Alaska native. And that's just one of the traditional jackets that are made in the culture. And it was actually my dad's idea. My grandma, I call her my Aka. That's how you say it in the Inupiat language. But so she had made a jacket for like all my coaches, and I had told my mom, I'm like, Mom, tell Aka to make me one too. Like,
what's she holding out for? What's she holding out? She was getting busy for everybody else.
Right. And then like we showed up to our team lunch, and like she handed them out, and I said, Aka, where's my jacket at? And she was like, I didn't have time. I'm sorry. She's like, I'll start it tonight. She literally did that in one day. Like when I asked her.
Wow.
The next day.
She got busy. She got busy.
No, but it was my dad's idea. He was telling me like, you should really like recognize your native side. Like the whole state of Alaska is here for you. There's a bunch of natives that just look up to you. You have an impact on. So just to recognize your culture in your starting lineup, that would be pretty cool. And so I'm like, yeah, that's actually a really good idea. So, the starting lineup, I told my coach, make sure it was good with my coach, and then just handed them my jacket. Once I went up there, she just put it on me, and that was a special moment just to kind of show like that pride I have from like where I come from, and like I think it's super important not to ever forget where you come from and where your roots are. So that was important for me to do. I think for my people back home.
That's super dope.
Okay, and then you're Polynesian as well, correct?
Yes, I'm Samoan.
Samoan, okay, excuse me. But just what's that like, being able to hold it down and in a major way, because like you said, like you're one of the top players in the nation. So like what is that like to just be able to represent?
It means a lot, and I carry it on my shoulders with pride, like I said. And I think just the Polynesian culture and even the native culture, they're very prideful people. They take pride in where they come from and like the culture. And so, like growing up, I never really saw that many Polynesians like playing basketball, like, at the highest level and things like that. So for me to be in the position to be that person for like these young Polynesian girls, the Polynesian community out here in Salt Lake is crazy. Like I didn't think it was like back home in Alaska. There's a lot of Polynesians there too. But once I got here and we kind of started doing well, getting more fans to come, I've seen a lot of Polynesians come up to me after the games, and it brings like a smile to my face every time just to see them coming out and showing support. And then, like I have little girls coming up to me just saying how much they look up to me and, asking me for advice and things like that. So, it means a lot. Just to represent my culture in that way and be that role model for other young Polynesian women.
You mentioned like moving to Salt Lake and experiencing the community there. You started at a different school in the Pac-12. So we wanted to know like what went into your decision to stay in that conference? Because like up until recently, that's a pretty uncommon thing for college athletes to do. I feel like they always went to like a different conference, but you're still going to face your old and have faced your old school. So why did you want to stay on the West Coast?
Definitely wanted to stay on the West Coast just to be close to home. But also, I think location for me wasn't a deal breaker. But I think staying in the Pac was important to me too, because it's just like this conference is different in the sense that, you have so many talented players and so many talented teams. You're being challenge every single night you're playing on the court. You know, like we don't have any off days to say like, oh, like this team's not that good. You know, we could like kind of use this as a practice game. You know, like everybody's good. So I coming from SC, I didn't have the season that I wanted to have since my freshman year, and you know, that kind of like lowered my confidence. But I think once I entered the transfer portal, I made the decision that, you know, I was going to dedicate my time to put in the work that I needed to do. You know, I think a part of that was being in this conference, because playing against these teams, like you got to play against the best to be the best. So that's kind of how I was looking at it.
Yeah, okay. that's valid. Like, and the Pac-12 is looking like the best so far. I'll say it. I'm comfortable saying it. They looking like the best so far. It's a gauntlet.
Converted him. Oh no, he was Big 12. Look what you did.
Hey, I'm on the way out. You see something back there? I'm on the way out. What you mean?
So we had Jalen Sherrard on a couple weeks ago, and we like to ask this: who is the best trash talker, one on your team and two in the conference? Because we want to compare some
and
notes.
in the nation.
And in the nation. Yeah, you know what? Let's
you guys have a lot of people now.
Give us one of each.
And wait, do you talk trash? Let's start with.
Oh yeah, let's start at the beginning. Let's start the foundation.
Are you a talker on the court?
You know, I never really talk to nobody unless they talking crazy to me. But
so you ain't starting it, but you finishing it, is what I'm hearing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
No, I don't start. I'm not a troublemaker, man. I just go out there and play. But nah, like I don't really be talking, because people don't really be talking to me like that. So.
Yeah, I know that's right.
They better not. They know better.
Let them know.
No, but I think that goes for like my whole team. Like nobody's really out there talking trash. I think like people play us, they probably think like, damn, these girls are too nice. Like nah, but I don't know. Like I really don't know like in the conference either, because like not that I can recall like somebody talking trash. Like I don't
I wouldn't want to talk trash. Listen,
so wait a minute, because we were told some teams be talking. So you saying they zip it up when they
play?
When they get to you? So okay, I see.
Because we heard some names.
We got it. Okay,
we heard some names. Noted.
I see.
Noted. Okay. Okay.
All right. So okay. All right. Light on the trash talk when it comes to the Utes, but who's your favorite? Like, who's your favorite team to go up against in the Pac-12, or what's an
individual matchup like that you have kind of circled on there, even if it's like not a rivalry or anything, but just like one that you enjoy going against?
Man, well, last year I was excited to play USC. Just because it would be my first time, you know, like seeing them again, I guess. But honestly, I would say Stanford. I feel like it's always a good game with us and them, especially the last year.
Excellent.
There were some good games. Yeah, they were solid. They were solid.
Yeah. So I would say Stanford. It's fun to play against them because they're a well-coached team, and you know they're. I think they have like almost the same kind of style that we play at, and so like playing against a team like that, it's fun.
Okay, so you're Pac-12 through and through. You talked about how, you know, it's no off nights in the conference. Aside from the Pac-12, what is the toughest conference to play against, in your opinion?
What's the... See, I will get this wrong because I don't even be knowing other conferences like that.
Honestly, that's an answer in its own. Like, because if it's Pac-12 or nothing, it's different on the West Coast.
I respect it.
That's what I'm hearing.
Look, everybody else is after the Pac-12, then I respect it.
I would say like the team. I forget what conference it is, but with like Ole Miss, Alabama, like
SEC.
SEC.
Yeah.
We played a couple of them last year, and it was a challenge for us, I think. And so those teams are good.
I feel you.
And so you kind of talked a little bit about some of the matchups last season. Obviously, you guys go on a bit of a tournament run. I just kind of want to ask, after that tournament run, and you go into this offseason, and obviously you're preparing for, you had a great year individually as a team. What is kind of the preparation looking like in the offseason leading into this year? You mentioned kind of having a couple different pieces, things of that nature.
Yeah, just getting with the team in the off season. I think it was mostly just us, getting comfortable with each other, playing with each other, and just running because our offense is mostly just actions and reads. So just getting familiar with those, especially with the new people. And then I would say personally, the off season, it was just, it almost looked like it did last year. Just me getting some extra conditioning. My fitness is something I always try to improve on. And then just kind of expanding my game on the perimeter more because, from last year, a lot of teams keying me in the paint, and just working on my not even just scoring from the outside, but just reading stuff and decision making and stuff like that too.
For sure.
Okay.
What's I mean, I imagine that you're going to be a pretty high draft pick in this coming draft. What's rookies always have a time adjusting, but what do you think is ready made about your game today that translates to the W?
I think my strength and my footwork, I would say. I think just having good footwork has helped me just, I don't know, just be able to score and kind of excel, especially being at the position I'm at and being 5'10".
Right. Which you're listed. I think you're listed at 6 foot, right?
I'm listed at 6'2".
That's which I remember. Okay, so because last year I remember this. I remember this very vividly because I made a video talking about your case for Pac-12 Player of the Year, right. And I talked about it's like she's 6'2" and she's doing this, and you responded, you're like, I'm 5'10". I don't know what they talking about. so you out here.
I came here. The first thing they put 6'2" on was my commitment picture. And then everybody sending me the pictures dang, you grew 2 inches? I was like, no, I didn't tell them to do all that. I don't know where those came from. But yeah,
we fighting on that live. Let's go.
I'm a good 5'10", man.
Listen, if you want it changed, we can make it happen. We'll figure it out. If we no, that's really funny though. But all right, listen, we don't want to take up too much of your time. So just one last question here. What is the expectations this year for this Utah women's basketball team?
I think the expectation has always been just to win, to play together. And I think something that our coach talks about a lot is just to trust the process. Being this early in season, there's a lot of things in games that we're it could be discouraging sometimes because sometimes we could feel like we're not where we're supposed to be at as a team. And I think just trusting the process and taking it a game at a time to get better, because these games is how we get better. And so I think the expectation is always to win, but I think just to be the best that we could be as a team.
I have one more question.
Go ahead.
What was your welcome to college moment?
That's a good one. That's a good one to end on.
Practice?
That's a good one.
Moment in the game? Was it getting lost on the way to class? What was your I'm at the next level.
So it would definitely have to be my freshman year at SC. I have 2. So first one was definitely 6 a.m. weights in the summer. Oh my gosh.
I know that had to hit the soul. That alarm every morning.
That alarm. Oh my gosh. That was the worst. But my freshman year also, when we started, so we went into pre-conference games, and it's against teams that you're supposed to beat. And so we're playing these teams, and then once it gets to conference, our first game is UCLA. And it's a team with Michaela Onyenwere,
That's a jump. That's a
yeah. They got like charisma. They got some other really good players. And so we played UCLA straight out the bat, first game of conference, and all of us freshmen. There were 7 of us in the class. All of us freshmen just kind of looking at each other like,
what are you gonna do now?
like this is how it is.
This wasn't like the other 4 games. What's going on?
So I'm pretty sure we lost by like 20, man. Oh my gosh, that had to be one of the moments where I was like, "Damn, this is the real deal."
Yeah, that'll do it. Well, Alissa, we think that you're the real deal, and we thank you for coming through tonight. Listen, you're welcome back anytime. You're an absolute fan favorite. Thank you so much for taking the time tonight. We're gonna be keeping up with you all season, so we might tap back in with you later on in the season and
Cool.
see how it's all going, conference play and all that. But thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me.